Béchamel is a roux-based sauce. Okay, a roux-based sauce that uses a white roux and milk. Starting off by infusing the milk with some bay leaves and some peppercorns, often some mace or nutmeg. Bring it up to the boil to scald it and then leave it to infuse for half an hour. Now, a roux sauce, named after the Roux brothers, uses a roux at the start of the process, which is butter and flour, roughly half and half in most cases. Now in this case we're using a white roux and we're adding milk to it for a bechamel, the first of the 3 roux mother sauces. If I was to cook this roux on a little bit further to a sort of sandy colour, sandy blonde colour, and then add white stock, I'd have a velouté. Whether it was chicken or fish stock, it doesn't matter, and they form the basis of chowders and things like that. Chicken velouté might be used for a pie filling. A good example is our chicken and tarragon pie. Now it's important to add the liquid gradually, a little bit at a time, so that lumps don't form. And I'm using a whisk, which makes that easier as well. Once it's all incorporated, I'll add a little bit more milk. The third of the 3 roux mother sauces is a demi-glace, where we take a roux and we take it right through until a nice dark stage, and then we add some tomato paste and we add dark stock and a few more vegetables and let that simmer down. And a demi-glace is the base for a lot of rich meat sauces. You make a big tub of demi-glace and leave it in the fridge, and then you make it into whatever sauce you happen to be making on the day. Roux sauces tend to be, we refer to them as mother sauces because they're the base sauce, and then there's hundreds of different sauces that stem from them. So for example, a bechamel might be used for a mustard sauce or a parsley sauce and things like that. The velouté might be used for the base of a chicken pie, as we talked about, or a seafood chowder if it was fish stock. And the demi-glace is probably the most useful actually. We use it for all sorts of different meat sauces. Now once all that milk's in, I'm giving it a stir. I'm going to give it 4 or 5 minutes to carry on cooking to make sure that flour's cooked out, and then it's ready to use.